For joining the Monday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Ayodele Uzubakun. Today on the program, anti-democratic protest breaks, anti-demolition, I beg your pardon, breaks out in Kano. I'll be hanging out with Gani Kaide Balogun and Paul Dada. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for staying with us. Most times, highly placed people convicted of some offenses are left off the hook through state pardon to the consternation of Nigerians. But Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke has denied having any plan of pardoning Rahman Adedoyin, who was convicted for the murder of Timothy Adegoke, a postgraduate student of Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Osun State. In a statement issued by a spokesperson, Olali Rashid, Governor Adeleke vowed never to intervene in any judicial process, including Adedoyin's matter. Let me start from GKB. This was kind of bizarre, and as at the time this event happened, a student going for his master's exams and checked into one hotel, thinking that should be a decent hotel. What's the name of the hotel? As one of the big franchise name. Yeah. And checked into that hotel. And that's to say, is this true? I want to put us to speed because he has been convicted officially by the court now.
He was convicted, but he refused to put up a defense. Remember that? He did not take a plea. He didn't plead whether he's guilty or not.
That's his inconsequential.
That's what I'm saying.
The court, once the court pronounced you as guilty.
Precisely. That's the point I was getting to.
If he likes.
So I think, because when I heard this, I know it's from those who are trying to put two and two together under the pretense that, okay, if a man could not take a plea in a case of murder, maybe he has some very powerful people backing him.
Yeah.
And then they now presupposes that that person will be the governor of the state.
Okay.
I think that's led to...
So the governor has the power to even order the attorney general to enter a nulli prosecute.
In the first place. Even has the power under, I think, 170, section 175 of the Constitution to decide whether to even take the case at all or to pardon the man after the facts. But those are not coming into play here because this matter has been appealed. And like the governor said, he has no interest in intervening in a judicial process. Besides, he's a politician. He knows the consequence of creating the impression that some people are above the law. Because in Osun State, as you speak, especially in Ile-Ife, this matter is a hot button that cannot really be touched. And anybody who really
I used to follow this lawyer online. I've forgotten the name of this man. This activist.
No,
not the lawyer, the radio man that was at the forefront of this particular case.
Yeah.
He's from Oyo State.
I know.
What's his name?
A lot of people took interest in this and decided to fight.
There's one man at the forefront that will try and...
So the place we are now is that the governor has done the right thing to come out very publicly, very quickly.
I'm Zat Oriyomi. Thank you, my producer. I'm Zat Oriyomi. All true.
His life was even threatened, according to
Yes. He was, at the point in time, the police from Abuja tried to intimidate him.
Yeah.
He was called for questioning in Abuja.
He was called, he was bullied, but he stood his ground until the case was decided. So I think the governor has done the right thing because matters like this should not be allowed to fester. Because the danger of the single narrative is that people will believe whatever they were told. So the governor did the right thing by quickly coming out to debunk this. Of course, it doesn't mean that after all said and done, the guy cannot be pardoned. That's not what we are saying. We are saying as of this moment in time, the governor has decided not to interfere in this matter and let the judicial process go forward.
Well, what do you make of this gentleman that decided to, go for his MBA to better his lot and everything, and mysteriously, overnight, he disappeared? And one thing is certain, because there's this particular blogger I was listening to online and said that some men that you like traveling or going anywhere without telling your wife or telling people about your whereabouts, that what sorted this case was that when he got to the hotel,
He called his wife.
He called his wife. Exactly. And the wife had a receipt of that same hotel for the previous outing. Exactly. So the lesson will go to some men.
There's a lot of lessons actually to learn, because you go out in the morning, come back in the evening, you are not seeking to hurt anybody, but you don't know who is marking you for destruction, so you cannot be over security conscious. But the lesson to... Okay, so we should also say that it's a good thing that for him, as they say, Daniel came to judgment. The judge resolved the matter, and the man was actually, the big man was actually convicted.
Very rich.
A very rich man.
Oduduwa University.
Oduduwa University, yeah, that's private university and all of that. There's a man who say they will call him
the prince. The prince in
they will call it an upstanding citizen, except that there are skeletons buried in his cupboard. So it's a good thing that he actually got the conviction. And
despite the denial by Governor Adeleke, is there any merits in the governor attempting to...
No. This is not... You see, although a governor has the right to exercise that prerogative of mercy, you understand? But it is not also one that is exercised recklessly. I mean, this case is still very fresh. The man was convicted. He has not even... How long has he even... how much has he spent in prison? You don't just... Prerogative of mercy is just what you exercise arbitrarily. By the way, this man still has right of appeal. The case can get to the Supreme Court. And I think it's also, for me, it was a display of arrogance for him not to even enter the witness box to defend himself. He never defended himself. He never came to defend himself. And personally, he didn't give any witness. So let the man face his music. If he's going to the appeal court, let him face his music. As things start now, he's a convict. He's a murderer. We can safely say he's a murderer.
What was he thinking about when he saw Femi Falana? As in, do you think he was going to go scot-free? He didn't take it. He thought it was a kind of child's play.
He thought the team would not get to this level.
And you see,
you know,
Femi Falana coming to do pro bono.
Even at the level of investigation, big men can manipulate.
They try.
And all of that. Thank God for that man you just mentioned now, who was on the case. It's actually a public interest case. Everybody is interested. And that is why a man like Governor Adeleke also has to look at the mood of the people. You understand? He can't just say, I grant prerogative of mercy. And I love what he said. He said, I cannot tamper with the judicial process. The fact that I'm governor, I have the right, I have that authority to exercise that prerogative, does not mean that I will just exercise it recklessly. So the man is a convict, as far as we speak, is a murderer, as far as things stand now. If he appeals, if a higher court says he's not, we will no longer call him a murderer. But evidence brought before the court.
It's a convict.
Yes.
That's the law.
Yes, it's a convicted murderer. He actually, in the eye of the law, he committed that murder. And he was not able to sufficiently defend himself. And in criminal cases, what they normally say is that a case must be proved beyond reasonable doubt. So the court was convinced that this man, the case against him, had been proved sufficiently by the prosecution.
Because when the first thing they did was to deny that the man was there. Don't forget.
Definitely.
That's the first step.
No, most offenders will deny at first.
The man, yes, they denied. And later they now saw the man in a shallow grave close by.
Very close by. And then I think there's CCTV or something.
The CCTV was tampered with.
Exactly. Everything was. So once you tamper with evidence, the onus is beyond proving reasonable.
Exactly. Everything pointed to the fact that something was fishy, something was being, a crime was being covered, and all of that. So the issue of prerogative of mercy shouldn't even come up.
The receipts were altered.
Yeah,
all of that.
And the son,
that could be used.
The son is on the run.
Yeah, because I think God forgive me, but there is a general feeling in Ife that this is not the first time that something like this happened. Nobody has proof of concept. You know our people, the way they put 2 and 2 together. So that itself is a problem for the defense.
Yeah.
Because the way they went about cutting away, tampering with evidence, it's obvious that something fishy was going on. Because all you are required to do as an hospitality owner is to report the case to the police.
To the police. Allow
the coroner to tell us what really happened to the man. No, you don't do self-help when it comes to things of this nature.
Are we now saying it's very now dangerous to just check it into a hotel, and even hotel with international affiliation? I don't know. Maybe you got that franchise properly, or it's just name dropping.
No. No matter what you do, normally if you have somebody, you should let them know where you are, and then tell them exactly when you arrive there. Because we travel a lot, so automatically every point that we got to, we have to let them know at all.
Exactly.
I'm now here. We'll go in another 2 hours. Be here. So you have
this guy's case is a big lesson.
No, because right now, like you said, even moving within your neighborhood is dangerous. Not to talk of going to an hotel.
And memorize phone numbers.
Yeah.
Memorize. There are people who don't comment phone numbers into their head.
Those are very important.
Exactly. Those are important to you. What if your phone is seized? What if you need help and you have to get someone to? You have to use someone's phone and you don't know anybody's number. Have people's phone numbers committed to your memory. It's very important.
Well, people are very wicked.
Yeah.
You're checking into an hotel and that's the end of his life.
Not only an hotel, even if you check into a taxi, dangers lurk everywhere. Only God is in control of all we do.
Okay. We just wish the family of this guy, Timothy Adegoke, the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss, because I saw a video. It's like the breadwinner in that family.
Yeah.
Young children and a wife. Moving on now. As Muslims in Nigeria prepare for the Eid-el-Kabir celebration, rising cost of items in the market is causing frustration. Airlines have gone up on major routes across the country, causing many travelers to lament. But operators have justified the increase, saying they need to charge sustainable fares for them to survive and maintain operations. Just because if I have to buy...
We are in a capitalist system.
If I have to buy for almost 500 naira per litre, or above 500 naira per litre, and you want to travel, I'll look at how much litre I'm going to buy to fill my tank to Ibadan. And the number of passengers, the tier and wear my vehicle, but it's not, especially for these private car hailing companies. It has not been easy. They've not adjusted the tariff, so that thing is really biting hard.
I know. You can't even call all these hailing services now. The cost they will charge you, it's very hard to start working. You have to bother yourself. 2 things will happen. The airfare, of course, is not a reflection of costing, because aviation fuel, as you know, it has been subsidized the subsidy has been removed.
Yes, long ago.
So if they are talking about demand and supply, we can understand that. But they cannot now use that as an excuse to increase verbatim cost overnight. All over the world, governments try to regulate things like this so that people are not used. Of course, it's also a failure of our lack of planning over time. Because all over the world, road travel is fundamental to most economies. Because most towns, as you know, rely on railway stations and on roads where they do stops along the road for them to make money. Places like Ore. Imagine a place like Ore, what Ore will be without interstate transportation. Imagine what Shagamu used to be before when we were using the old Ijebu road to get to Ibadan. You don't remember what toll gates used to be before the expansion of the route. So the economy of states has to be affected. But I've always said it. The failure of the government in 75, 79 to link Lagos and Abuja via rail is one of the fundamental failures of why things we do like this. Because normally, Nigeria should have roads that are so, because we have a little bit under 1 million square kilometers. That means good roads is a sine non when it comes to this. That's why this airfare will affect a lot of people who are now forced to either join together to take a bus or do other things. A lot of people are not going home because it's not only the airfare that has gone up, even the price of pepper.
Everything is going on.
IGKB, if you remember, if there's this one that we call, what do we call it now? The local one, the US, transport by road.
Okay.
That's Greyhound. Going from like Chicago to like Minnesota,
all over
10 hours.
Yeah.
And you decide to, I want to go by road. That's what I can afford.
That's what I do.
Roads.
Good roads. Not only good roads, even the vehicles
to
are
Wisconsin,
regulated.
to St. Paul's, everywhere. Good roads.
From
2
New
lanes
York
and everything.
down to anywhere you want to go.
Now the problem now is that my mother went to Ondo State over the weekend and she got to my village and she came back and I asked her, a 73-year-old woman, and she told me that she is in pain. I said, what? I said, the roads are very, very bad.
They are horrendous.
And she was even advising me not to go by road for anything. That's to go to anywhere close to Ondo State now. That's it's nightmare.
The roads are bad.
That means you want to fly.
Exactly.
And the alternative, can you afford it?
But the reason why many people still take the road is because they cannot afford the airfare. That's why many people, that's why you still see people going from Lagos to Abuja by road. If they had a choice, they would rather take the air. But you see, the thing is that a lot of people, the general hike in prices of commodities and services, they are talking about the floating of the naira, talking about the, what's it called now? The removal of subsidy and all of that. I was with a friend yesterday, and he was complaining, why this, why that? But I said something. I said, look, the old system where we're doing patch, everything subsidized, we will not be able to sustain it. A time will come, if we did not do anything, that there will still be an implosion. People will now complain and start cursing government. You understand what I'm saying? Because we will not be able to manage it any longer. Now, the things that are happening, if it's about the removal of subsidy and the floating of naira and all of that, even electricity.
It's expensive. It's not safe. It's not safe. We don't have good roads.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Roads are bad.
Exactly. So we need to fix. Where I'm going is this: all of these things that are happening, we need to now come up with a plan, a comprehensive plan to develop our country. You talk about roads.
I'm telling you,
you understand?
Declare a state of
emergency. It should be fun. Traveling for 10 hours. Traveling for even for 24.
Normally, Lagos to Abuja is going to be like 10 hours.
Exactly.
On a normal stretch.
Let me tell
you. Right now.
Ayo, let me tell you a joke. You will not believe this. Between Mombasa, the port city, and Nairobi, it's 520 kilometers.
520.
That's roughly the size of Lagos to Abuja. They have only one single road. If you Google it, they pride themselves that they build a road that's almost straight. That means once you take a bus in Nairobi or a car, you are going on one road to Mombasa, 520 kilometers, almost on a straight line. You can Google it. You see that the road is almost on a straight line. That was deliberate because when you have two major points like Lagos and Abuja, that you need to move. It's not something that should be played with. In fact, Lagos and Abuja should have not only 1, 2, 3 roads leading to it directly, should also have a rail system, including a fast rail. Imagine a 3-hour rail, just Lagos and Abuja.
Go through Akure, go through Ekiti, go through Kogi, everywhere.
Everywhere is bad.
We need to be very intentional in governance.
No, we
have missed opportunities. Lot of opportunities. We've had presidents, administrations that just sat there doing nothing. When I say doing nothing, I mean they are doing everything but nothing. Motion without movement. You understand what I'm saying? Things that directly affect the common.
No, I think it's a accumulation of
I agree.
Neglect.
I agree with you.
Yes.
Now, you not have a president
but
who is
right
rushing.
Now, no. Even for the last administration, they invested on infrastructure.
But again,
you know, the deficit we had.
Well, they invested.
Yes.
They invested in infrastructure truly, but security also, insecurity hobbled.
Yes.
Yeah. So many people are not even thinking of the strides they made in infrastructure. You understand? People will just remember former President Buhari as the person who superintended over a country that was in chaos security-wise. You understand? We remember him. We remember his ambition for kidnappings, terrorism, and all of that. That affected a lot of things.
I won't forget the railway projects.
You understand? Yes,
I won't
yes.
forget
No. That's you.
Niger build.
No, that is you.
That's
We know these things are there.
Lagos-Ibadan Express was still
nobody
ongoing.
denies it. Nobody. These things are there. But it still does not change the fact that that administration failed in many areas.
I won't disagree with
Failed in many areas. That rubbish, whatever modest achievements it had.
What we failed to do, or what Nigerian governments have failed to do in the last 30 years, is what Buhari tried to tackle. Obviously, not very successfully. Because, like I said, we have roads that are not at the same par with our growth. Remember this program 5 years ago? We told them that the design for the Lagos-Ibadan road would be obsolete by the time they open it. Remember, 5 years ago, we told them here on this program.
They also have
and now, the Lagos-Ibadan road, the car axis, the motorway axis is already useless. The matter of speaking.
That is our poor maintenance culture.
Even planning. Because normally,
the place is now densely populated. The place hitherto that was sparsely populated.
When you re-award it in when Obasanjo was living, and we said it the same when Eid-el-Adha was living, was that the new Lagos that is coming, Lagos can no longer take the level of traffic that is taking.
Mowe, Ibafo, Ofada, Arikbu.
Shagamu bypass now. People are moving there. Already, the portion between Shagamu and Ibadan was reduced, as you know. That too is growing because things are coming in from Ibadan now towards Lagos. That means somebody in 10 years will have to think again of redesigning. But remember, those who designed Lagos-Badagry Express Road, the Maltu one, is still standard. Remember those who designed Korodu Road? When the corridor was still in the forest, today it's still functioning.
Yeah, it's functioning.
Because it's a 10-lane, 12-lane express road that no matter what you do, there will still be enough room for those traveling to go. Anytime I pass through Lagos, it pains me. Because this is a road that ought to have been redesigned. Traveling lane, 6 lanes. Service lane, 4 lanes. Those towns will grow with the service lanes.
It's a major road. It's a major road.
Economic nerve.
Probably the busiest road.
Yes.
The busiest road,
according to statistics.
federal road.
No, imagine this.
The only one that connects Lagos.
Yes, to everywhere.
Apart from the
Ekpe, or pass through Lagos Abeokuta.
Because you don't think.
Even look at the state of Lagos Abeokuta Expressway.
Oh no, don't talk about that. Toll gate, shame. No, that toll gate. Dakwa Abiodun, federal government, everything.
Ogun
shame.
State,
No. That toll gate area.
Ogun State.
It was as if where I'm telling you, as if there was a kind of war going on in Ogun State. When I passed that place last,
it's terrible.
That toll gate road, no.
Immediately you
human beings
even before you get to toll gate,
even
you see Ahmadiyya Ija area, there are very bad portions.
Do you know that?
You understand that once I turned straight down from the road at Abuletilo, from that point to get to Songo.
Special thanks to Akinwumi Ambodi's administration that
opened
built 43 roads
in
that axis.
Ojokoro area today.
That is the only help for those guys.
We have more.
But the major road, no. It's nothing to write to about.
I think we used to lambast even President Obasanjo those days. This road is close to your farm, for God's sake.
It doesn't take
you know. Yeah, but well, that's so insensitive.
Baba is not in Abeokuta.
No, the problem with Nigeria is that of lack of foresight when we plan. And this is what is coming back to bite us in the behind with this affair. Because as you know, coming in from Gary, Indiana, and you're coming to Chicago, they will give you a choice. $20 to take the fast road 20 minutes, or take the old road for 2 hours. It's not rocket science. All these PPP can be done. You don't need to do it as a government.
Exactly.
Just tell somebody. Imagine the Kara Bridge. I said, there's no reason why those living in that axis should take the express. There should be their own road, parallel to them. That's what is done all over the world. Do a road that is permanent to them, so they can do face to face and leave those of us who are traveling.
Highway.
So go. Yeah. But everybody congest on the road and they will spend 8 hours.
It's all about being intentional.
I know a guy who was supposed to do graduation at LASU that could not get out of. He couldn't get out.
Okay,
we take out of the venue.
Yes, it's still related a sort of relief has come to in the face of frustration regarding the preparations for the Eid-el-Kabir celebration, that the Federal Minister of Works and Housing has announced suspension of work on the ongoing reconstruction of Lagos-Ibadan Express Road. Yeah, this is to reduce gridlock during the Eid-el-Kabir celebration. The Federal Controller of Works in Lagos, Oluwakorede Kesha, said this is to allow travelers have easy passage during Eid holiday and minimize discomfort of gridlocks during the period. So I'll take this breather. When we come back, we'll talk again. Stay with us.
In today's world, our lifestyle, both at work and at play, depends on connectivity. Our connectivity depends on the devices that make it possible, and these devices depend on electric power. When power fails, our life shrinks, our work drops, and our joy dips. JRB Solar Energy Systems are here to ensure that we enjoy uninterruptible power, uninterruptible joy. Whether you're running a business, an institution, or just a home you return daily to rest, JRB has got you covered. No project is too big for our super digital inverters, long-lasting batteries, and efficient solar panels. Go, dream on, change your world. JRB Solar Inverters, batteries, solar panels, solar streetlights, and more. Telephone 0906 752 1111. Email sales@jrbsolar.com. With JRB, the sun's gonna shine on everything you do.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Grandma.
What did you do this weekend?
Well, on Friday, I went on a science trip with my classmates to see the gorillas in Rwanda.
Huh?
Then, I watched the cup final in London with the family. And on Saturday, my friends and I met up to hunt dragons again. Yes. Also, I taught the vacuum cleaner and the TV this new dance everyone's doing. They're really getting into it. And on Sunday, I went to bed watching the world from space. And you? Yes, so Grandma.
With Airtel 5G's lightning fast speeds and seamless connectivity, you won't believe what's next.
Thank you for staying with us. This is journalist Hangout, and we're reaching you live from our headquarters here in Lagos, Nigeria. And I still have Gani, Kaide Balogun, and Paul Dada in the studio. And we'll be talking about the roads infrastructure in Nigeria, and we'll now go to Lagos-Ibadan Express Road, the gridlock, and we'll be at the brunt here. If you are exiting this place after journalist hangouts, maybe from the front of TVC here, you can spend 1 hour to get to the 7-Up intersection before you can turn. And everywhere, all the alternative routes, look, okay, this is the situation right now. And this can be for hours. And okay, this is Nuruddin Olowopopo Drive. Yes, this is Nuruddin Olowopopo Drive. As we have... when you are coming from Bega to Alausa, this Nuruddin Olowopopo Drive, and that road, very good lane road, 3-4 lanes. You can see the gridlock, and this connects to the Lagos-Ibadan Express Road. So if you have this, and you have Lagos, this is a Magodo axis of Lagos-Ibadan Express Road, and this is a mobile axis, and look at the road. Now, this will stretch to Bega. I don't know where this starts from. This is a drone shot. Now, this will stretch to Bega. And to add salt to injury, by the time it's 7-8, around that Kara Bridge, people will start, some unscrupulous element to start robbing commuters, and people will have to abandon their cars. It's living in hell.
The last time security was solid on that Kara Bridge was when Tunji Disu was head of RRS.
Okay.
They dedicated themselves solely to make sure that something.
He's still in a position to do something. You are afraid he's now the principal staff officer to the IG. Olatuji Kudisu, please. You can still do something. IGP, you can still do something.
This is the litmus test over this weekend.
Yes.
For both FRSC.
People will be traveling out of Lagos.
For both FRSC. What's the one for Ogun State?
But what they're saying now is that construction should stop for the meantime so that they can make the passage.
I think it was our friend Kayode who told me that when you put on the brake in Lagos, it will take you 7 minutes. That's what is lost for simply putting on the brake like this on any major Lagos road. So imagine what's happening, how many hours they are wasting there on that. And like we were saying before we went for the commercial break, what is the Ogun State government doing to allay the sufferings of these people? The road on the Sherry side has been abandoned for years. That road can be face-to-face for those going home. A small bridge of less than a kilometer over Ogun River. What's the name of this area? Down your road, after Magodo, after Omole phase 2.
Sherry Road.
The road, it has a Yoruba name, I've forgotten what they call it. There is a junction there that leads nowhere. I was told that there's supposed to be a bridge, but it was abandoned, and they built up that area. All you have to do was clear that bridge. Olo water.
Okay, Olo water.
All you have to do is to lick up that bridge over the water. To join that road, you know the road I'm talking about, the one in front of Opik.
Yeah.
And once that will solve the problem by 70%. Because whoever doesn't have any business on the express, and now take that road for as far as they can. I don't know what's going on in Lagos Ibadan Express. Nobody does. It has consumed nothing less than 3 ministers, 4 administrations.
Oh, well, the decision.
And the road seems that the Abaruboye of that road.
No, right now we have a situation whereby even those who want to go through the Sherry Road from
After Kara.
No, I think is it from Big Treats when you come from Agidingbi?
Okay.
And you're going through Omole phase 1.
Okay.
And you want to go and connect that popular road safety.
Where you have road safety.
Yes, Ogunisi Road. They call it Ogunisi Road right now.
Actually.
The Ogunisi Road right now. So, the gridlock has extended to that place. So all alternative
Usually
routes,
you have
that
gridlock
area
there from that place down to the express. Right from, what's the name of this bus? I think that bus stop. What do you call that bus stop? I think it's Omole, right? Yeah, from Omole bus down
down that road.
And it's moving back.
And people spend overnight. That road.
In fact, for those traveling tomorrow for Salah, if you have a choice, take the train. Because the chances are that road.
I'm telling you, if you are going to Abeokuta,
some may tell you they can't afford.
You are going to Ibadan, Abeokuta, or you are going to Osun State. I don't know, maybe the still
some will tell you they can't afford the train fare.
How much? How much is the?
It's Ibadan. I think Ibadan is 3,000.
You can't afford 3,000. Stay at home.
Well, but let's also say it's a good thing that let's commend the federal government for stopping the work for now, pausing the work so that people can. Because if at this time you have such heavy vehicular density, you can imagine what's going to be like maybe tomorrow.
No, tomorrow is out of it if they not stop work.
Yeah, tomorrow
do
and all of that. Then the issue of security that we talked about, is very, very important. But beyond this, this is just a temporary measure for this period. Beyond this, the woes people experience every day.
Will the road be free with the suspension of the construction?
I know it will be free after that. What about after Salah break?
No, we're asking with the suspension, would the road be
free?
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. That is exactly what I'm saying. Will the road now be free after the Salah break? No. The work will continue, right? And we will return to the status quo. So all of these suggestions we are making, all of these complaints we are raising, I hope they just do something very decisive so that people can have.
Because I keep asking, where are the alternative routes? When we are blocking the A1. That road is A1, no? In Nigeria. That's our number one.
I won't spend three hours very early in the morning on that road. Between Kara and Bega or something.
Where are the alternatives? You cannot block Nigeria's most important express route without providing alternatives. That's what I don't get. You want people to come in and invest, and the investor is caught in traffic for 4 hours to access the airport. What do you think he will do?
It's terrible.
Something must be done to provide, even whether they stop or not, it's not really material. They must provide alternative routes for our people to take. That's the only solution.
And we must endure this because we must complete that road.
Yeah.
If you remember the number of years that road has gone through construction, I can't remember now. I can't start tracing it. So, because this is the last phase.
Jonathan awarded that road. It was withdrawn. No, Obasanjo gave it to PPP. It was withdrawn by Jonathan.
At a point in time, we went to Bicotny.
Bicotny tried, they went to court. They gave it to them for 25 years to run, which is done over the world.
This idea of one government stopping, I think government is supposed to be a continuum.
No, it's not like that in Nigeria.
I don't know why. That was how someone, Obasanjo just sold refineries, another person reversed it. You understand?
And today we are paying free salaries for those refineries.
Maybe if Yar'Adua had allowed those refineries to go, maybe we'll not talking about subsidy issue now. I don't know. When you have good policy by a government, look at this issue of Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. You keep awarding it. The thing is there. You are reconstructing it like forever. When is it going to end?
And I just told you that the reconstruction is already obsolete. It's already obsolete because we warned them on this program 5 years ago. This will happen. Somebody will come in 2 years, 3 years and said, okay, we're not going to make it a 14-lane express road.
And then you cost another...
that will now take another 40 years. By the time you do that, the developer will have got it to Shagamu, will be on his way to Ajebo, and then you start all over again. Like whoever is the person that reduced the road after Shagamu, the person should be lined up and shot. Because we are assuming that there will be no growth in that axis, but the growth is already there. That means you are paying for a construction that is useless by the time it was delivered.
And if, by any chance, we finish this road and we now introduce toll, because the former works minister actually hinted of that, let's say by the Lagos axis, Shagamu axis, like we used to do, and Ibadan axis. Yeah. What is wrong in tolling? Tolling to maintain, or as in tolling effectively, or transferring the roads in the hands of private participants to make sure that they maintain the roads. If a project actually has been through PPP, and the company that embark on that project decides to toll or collect some sort of levy within a period of time, I think there's nothing bad in it. And there's nothing bad in also tolling. There's nothing bad for government. For me, there's nothing bad. Just deliver. They don't have the funds now.
Yes, we need funds actually. See, Nigerians are ready to pay. A lot of Nigerians are ready to pay for services that are efficient. You understand? But if you are tolling
like
that road, and
people,
for example, if you are tolling and people are still wasting man hours on a particular road, then it doesn't. That means it's like double. What's it called? Double jeopardy. So what are we eventually gaining?
All over the world, there's
nothing wrong with tolling.
There's always a difference. I don't want to call it tolling. Difference in prices between the fast and the slow one. You must give us an option. Give us a diversion that will take 4 hours.
Okay. Okay. I have Adedamola Kuti from the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing on this Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you very much. Sorry, I'm joining you a bit late. I just entered the house and then just listening to your program.
Okay.
And just to explain a few things.
Please, go ahead.
The construction work on Lagos-Ibadan, you see, we need to focus on what is causing this gridlock. What is causing this gridlock is not, number one, my brother there, I think it's Mr. Gani also, who was saying something that blockage. Nobody has blocked Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Nobody has blocked it. What we have done is to create a diversion. Creating a diversion so that, we can manage the road. And it's a moving traffic. But the problem with our people is just impatience. Our people are impatient, and then once there is any breakdown of vehicles within the diversion areas, people drive against traffic. Truly, he also said, yes, that this is a major trunk road, trunk A road. Good. It's a trunk A road. There are alternatives. The old Ikorodu Shagam is an old road. It's old A1. Before the construction of Lagos Ibadan Expressway. Some of our people can make use of this place, of this particular road. We still have another road on Lekki Road. They also bought that at Ijebu.
To get to Lekki.
You know, our people can make use of this road. But the issue basically is that it has to do, the result there is as a result of impatience on the part of drivers, impatient people who pick passengers, these commercial vehicles that pick passengers, because you know we are already right inside Lagos. And then this new garage, as you enter into Lagos, you know.
Yes, Adedamola.
They have to drop their passengers.
Okay.
So those are the issues that we are facing there. Our people should just obey the traffic rules.
Can you tell us, can you give a timeline, as in, that we can endure till? As in...
Yes, thank you very much. In terms of time, you know why we are very, very cautious about this? As you are very close to the site, go to the site and see what we have left is just a very, very small section. But the problem we are having now is that we are already at the peak of the rainy season. We're already at the peak of the rainy season. Okay. If I give you a timeline now, and then there is continuous rain of which we are not in control, it creates another. But all hands are on deck. We are finishing it very, very soon. For every day it rains, it brings up back 4 days.
I want to thank you, Adedamola Kuti, for that contribution. Thank you. At least you helped us out.
If I may just react, let me just react quickly to what he said. You know, sometimes I find it a little bit, I feel disenchanted when people who are supposed to provide solutions are analyzing problems the way we are doing here. It is our job to analyze. The problem is. What have you done about the problem? You talked about the issue of when vehicles break down, people drive against traffic. You work with the federal ministry. How effective is your working with the law enforcement agents to make sure that to stop people, to prevent people from driving against the traffic? Now, the alternative is to talk about how viable are those routes. You know, you just...
And how far?
Exactly.
No. How far is not the issue. If I know that I'm going to have a smooth ride, to get to Lekki from this place, to pass through Lekki, phase 1, phase 2, Awuyaya, I don't know, Osakwa, London, and move to Ekpe.
An alternative.
To get to Ekpe, God, you know, to get to that area, even the disaster zone called Ikorodu Shagamu. I've tried it. I think I tried it like 6 months ago.
You lost bumper now.
Oh, no.
Those are the things I'm talking about. It's not enough for you to say, pass this, there's an alternative road.
There should be a law to stop people from taking the Shagamu.
Honestly.
They should do a law specifically for that.
Stop from driving in that road. Okay, and finally, Kano, the commercial and political hotbed of northern Nigeria, is on edge over unresolved differences between the new government and the immediate past administration in the states. Hundreds of protesters stormed the streets of Kano to express their displeasure over ongoing demolition by the state government. Speaking on behalf of the protesters, Zaradin Sani Baba of the Coalition of Good Governance and Change Initiative said if Governor Abba Yusuf has anything against his predecessor, he should call him to answer questions instead of punishing innocent Nigerians and destroying their investments. I think this kind of issue is getting out of hand. And when I saw this story, and I was just like, no, I will not blame Abba Yusuf. I'll start from Kwakwanso and Ganduje. Yes, they have the good states now. NNPP, congratulations. You guys won and you dealt a decisive blow against the ruling APC and everything. But then, hitting the ground running, not by demolishing properties across the states in front of government house. And no, it doesn't make sense.
You see, Governor Abba Yusuf is going to hand a sobriquet, demolition governor. You understand? The truth of the matter is, when you govern with a human face. There was a market they destroyed. Traders were talking about losing what? Losing millions. Goods valued.
I think this is a roundabout in front of the government house.
You are impoverishing people in a state where you already have so many people, where so many poor people. Instead of you to come out with what you are going to do to deal with the Almajiri situation, so many poor people.
I'm telling you, the number of Almajiris in Kano roaming about.
You are demolishing buildings, saying that you want to restore the master plan, urban master plan of the city. Now, nobody says you should not do the right thing. But how do you do it? For those people whose properties, especially those poor people, whose properties you are demolishing, do you have alternative plans for them? What are the programs you are doing out for them? Anyway, they have approached, somebody has approached the court already. There's an ex parte.
It's like a pure vendetta.
Yes, there's an ex parte order that the demolition exercise should stop for now until the case is determined in court. And the court has promised to grant accelerated hearing on the matter. But Governor Abba Yusuf, if his case is not taken, he will go down in the Hall of Infamy. You know, as a governor who put tears, who made people to shed tears, because their properties were destroyed, just destroying everywhere, everything, because, and it's looking like it's a pursuit of vendetta against Ganduje. Yeah. But Ganduje is not the worst hit in this matter. There are so many Kano citizens that are affected, their means of livelihood taken away because you are restoring what's it called, master plan of a city. It's terrible.
The reality we are facing now is what I call the Nigerian factor. We've been in democracy or civil rule for about 25 years, but we are yet to weed away our military mentality when it comes to governance. Because I keep asking people, what will it cost Governor Abba Yusuf to inform those people and give a deadline, call a conference, a town hall meeting, and explain why these things must go? What's the hurry to demolish? What are you gaining over 1 month to do this? What if you call the meeting? Of course, people will go to court.
Or give alternative.
Yeah, but you decided on your mind that the only way to deal with the Ganduje is to destroy its legacies. But the reality is that you are destroying the infrastructure of Kano.
Exactly.
And that's the fear.
This is the roundabout.
Senator Kwankwaso was on TV a couple of days ago trying to justify why this was done.
Trying to defend it.
And it's looking as if it's Kwankwaso ruling.
Yeah.
Not this Abba Yusuf is not a man of his own.
It's like saying we are now in charge.
Yes, that's what I feel. That's the feeling I get.
Dr.
So it's an extension of the beef between former Governor Kwankwaso and his protege.
No, it's a Kwankwaso Ganduje war, part 4. That's what we are now. Because they fought together at one, then they do team.
But who are the casualties of this?
The people will always be the casualties. Because Ganduje will find his level, ultimately. So it's for Governor Yusuf to realize that, because states keep saying they are looking for investors. You keep going around the world, looking for people to come to your state to invest. This is not a good optics for people to come and invest in Kano.
At all.
Because people will now say that, okay, in case you leave in 4 years, then the next governor to have the same rights, to also destroy your own legacy.
So in your first 100 days, this will be what you showcase
and some of the
we destroyed illegally constructed.
Some of the excuses you can't even see on this program. All manners of excuses why. It looks more like one religion. It's against one religion.
No.
It doesn't work.
No.
The same people go to Saudi Arabia. They go to Hajj. We know the level of quality improvements that the Saudi government does to Mecca and Medina every year. This year alone, they've introduced a train from Mina to Khalifa, something that our father walked for 3 days. It was something that we took buses at our time. People are now taking trains that will take them from Muna to the place in 20 minutes. You can't be more Islam than that now. To throw the stone at the devil that people used to die every year. The Saudi did the next best thing. They built a 7-story building. You can now throw the stones on 7 floors. They're also Islamic. They don't destroy, they improve.
Improve on what is on ground.
Dubai is an Islamic state. They improve.
Exactly.
Qatar.
Everybody wants to go
they
there.
Improve. You go to North Africa, you will not believe you are in an Islamic country. They wear suits. They have the best infrastructure. They improve. Why is it only in northern Nigeria that is a problem? That everything must be done according. I'm a Muslim. My father was an imam. My grandfather was an imam. So I don't understand. So when they bring Islam into it and use as an excuse to do vendetta against your predecessor, it's not done. There are 1,001 ways to deal with Ganduje. It's not by destroying shops and malls.
I think we are going to reach out to the people of Governor Abba Yusuf to just come and give us a kind of justification so that it's not going to look one-sided. We want to just come and justify this action. Today, we have protests all over Kano State, and people are really, really restive and agitating that, look, this should stop. And you said somebody has gone to court?
Yeah, someone has gone to court, actually.
To get
so
a kind of injunction.
But it will be very unfortunate if it is now the court, intervening,
Okay, I have Shola from Ikorodu in Lagos. Thank you for hanging out with us, Shola.
Yeah, thank you, Ayo. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to the gentleman in the studio.
Yes.
You see, I actually want to comment on the demolition going on in Kano State.
Okay, please.
You see, it's quite unfortunate the kind of people we have in that part of the country. You see, taxpayers' money, when people are crying of no money to eat, no money to survive, the money that was supposed to be invested it on the infrastructure, and somebody come and start demolishing it. What kind of leaders do we have in this country? This is so painful, so barbaric, honestly speaking. If it were to other states, there would have been protests going on. And that is the truth. Honestly, something should be done about this governor, whatever his name is.
His name is Governor Abba Yusuf. Abba Yusuf. Abba Yusuf, Gida.
Governor Abba Yusuf, yes. Governor Abba, something needs to be done about it. And posterity will not forget him for what he has done. And I can tell you, he's bringing curse upon his children.
Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. Because
I wonder
the trend between the predecessor and the successor in office. That's why somebody had to go to Matawa Ali's house and picked all the vehicles and the campaign vehicles and even the vehicle that he had before becoming the governor, like 40 vehicles.
What these people do is very funny. But I wonder whether Governor Yusuf, when he was campaigning, was telling people of Kano that when you elect me as governor, I'll be demolishing your buildings. I'm sure if you had told them that, they would not have voted him. So what he's doing here, what he's doing now, is different from what because I'm sure he promised them a better life. He promised them that he could give them a better deal than the APC government of Ganduje gave to them. But I do not think what is happening now is a better life for the people of Kano.
So I think we should appeal to the Godfather, Kwankwasia.
I have tremendous respect for Dr. Rabiu Kwankwaso. He has proven time and again that it's a political strategy.
No, he's a master for 2023. With that result to presidential governorship. No, master stroke.
Tremendous respect for him and his movements. But this is not the way to go. There are 1,001 ways to belly cats.
Yes.
It's not by destruction.
That's the only states of NNPP. But
because Kano is extremely important.
It locked down the states.
Not only to Nigeria, the entire sub-Saharan Africa. Kano is the core center of business when it comes across to Nigeria. Yeah. So it's not a place that you now tell people for one reason or the other not to bring their investments. That to me is the danger of this particular thing that he is doing. He must have his reasons, but they are not cogent enough to lead to destruction. There are 1,001 ways to solve this problem without reverting to destruction of lives and properties.
I want to thank you, Paul Dada, for your contribution today. And Osiare, we are counting down to...
Yeah, Salah is Wednesday.
Is it Thursday or Friday?
Wednesday, Thursday.
Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, counting down. So, Gani Kairi Balogun, Thank you for your contribution. And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast by 5 p.m. tomorrow. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight by 11 p.m. And don't forget to join us every Sunday for Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Uzubaku. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.
A paid presentation by ShopX TV. Are you worried about the safety and security of your home at night? Do you wish to know when intruders come close to your home? Or do you want to protect what matters to your family from anywhere at any time? What if there was a convenient, affordable way to keep surveillance on your home without having to worry about wires, installations, or heavy light bills? Introducing the incredible Sidebulb HD Cam, the robotic 360-degree two-way torque camera with action tracking technology. Sidebulb is the ultimate solution for discreet and powerful surveillance. It's so easy to install, and the app lets you rotate and view the video from your Sidebulb in real time from any smartphone. You can drop in from anywhere and check in with our two-way talk technology. Talk and listen at the same time.
Hello, Mommy.
Hey, sweetie. I'll be home soon, okay?
Sidebulb's advanced tracking technology locks onto motion and tracks in real time. Set the siren alarm to go up when motion is detected and keep intruders away. Check in on your home while you're away. Make sure the kids got home safely. Interact with visitors at your doorway or surprise a trespasser.
Surveillance in a light bulb. I was amazed at the 360-degree rotation. It gives me a full view of my house and I can check in on my kids. The footage is clear and the night vision is so impressive. The best part, I can add multiple side bulbs for a complete home surveillance.
I really like my Sidebulb. It's so easy to use. I just downloaded the app, I put it on my phone, and I add it up and run in about 3 minutes.
Traditional surveillance systems are bulky, expensive, and difficult to install. But with Sidebulb HD Cam's innovative design, installation is as fast as changing a light bulb, and it's made for indoor and outdoor surveillance.
The Sidebulb HD Cam is now available in Nigeria, exclusively from ShopX TV. You could be paying up to 200,000 naira for an indoor and outdoor security system that doesn't fully secure your home. But call the number on your screen now and get the Sidebulb HD Cam for just 45,000 naira and get peace of mind. And that's not all. If you call now, we'll give you an extra Sidebulb at no extra cost. That means you buy one and get one free for 45,000 naira. But wait, there's more. If you order now, you get the Sidebulb HD Cam delivered to you for free wherever you are in Nigeria. So, call the number on your screen now or visit our website to place your order while stock lasts. The proceeding was a paid presentation brought to you by ShopX TV.
Wherever you see destruction, it's because God is absent. There is no destruction in God. So who started killing from Genesis? Satan. Jesus exposed him. The thief cometh not, but for to steal, to kill, and to destroy. But I am come that you may have life and have it how much? More abundant. I prophesy as your amen is coming like thunder. Whatever is yours, receive it now.
Voted as the best TV station of the year. TVC News breaks into the core of every event as they happen. Following all nationwide big and impactful stories. Without the news from every perspective. Covering every human angle. I am Veronica, bringing you the news you would want to watch.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty, erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Business lives on the fast track of numbers. Business is a strange world where low numbers mean something different. And its currency are speed and time. Finding the open doors of mainstream is not just good business, it's the start of the business. Join us every weekend on Business Week.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
It's 28 days of President Tinubu's presidency, and we're monitoring developments closely in his first 100 days in office. Thank you for joining us on the program. I am Nifebi Oguntoye. Remember, you can join the conversation now on Twitter if you use the hashtag first 100 days and also tag at TVC News NG. Let's begin with updates from the presidency. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has now approved the renaming of 15 of the country's airports from after the former president Muhammadu Buhari, as well as other prominent Nigerians. Let's run through it quickly. Akure Airport is now named after Olumuyiwa Bernard Aliyu. Benin Airport, Oba Kenzua II. Dutse Airport, Mohammed Nuhu Sanusi. And Ebonyi Airport is named after Chuba W. Okadigbo. Gombe Airport is named after Brigadier Zakari May Malari. And in southwest Nigeria, Ibadan Airport is named after Samuel Ladoke Akintola. Ilorin Airport, General Tunde Diagbon. Kaduna Airport, Hassan Usman Kassina. The Maiduguri Airport is now named after former President Muhammadu Buhari. And Makodi Airport, Joseph Sawan Tarka. Mina Airport, Malam Abubakar Imam. Nasarawa and Usube are named after Sheikh Usman Danfodio and Aphrodite Spieth, respectively. Port Harcourt Airport has Obafemi Awolowo as its new name, and Yola Airport, Lamido Aliyu Mustafa. Also today, the Vice President Kashim Shettima decorated the new Controller General of the Nigeria Customs Service, Adewale Adeniyi, describing his appointment by President Bola Tinubu as a morale booster for officers in this service. The Vice President said this at a brief ceremony witnessed by the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, at the Presidential Villa. He congratulated the new customs boss for bringing professionalism back to the Nigerian Customs Service and rekindling the hope of every customs officer to aspire to reach the pinnacle of his or her profession.
We are going to be professional in our approach. There are a number of partners, stakeholders that we are going to be working with. It's a very onerous task for the customs, but we believe that we will be working alongside other stakeholders, other partners that we have identified who yearn to work with us, who felt that they've not been given enough say in customs matters, customs operations. So we intend to come up with a number of innovations that would help to carry along those stakeholders, those partners. We're going to leverage technology. We're going to try and use those innovative technologies to break new grounds in customs operations.
Well, Customs now has a 7 officer as its Controller General. And there's a lot of buzz about that new development, particularly when you consider that the House of Reps earlier in the year, sponsored a bill to limit the CG appointment to 7 customs officers. Let's speak to our State House correspondent, Femi Akonde, who joins me live from Abuja. Femi, this list of new names of airports have been trending for a couple of days now. Talk to us about what you're hearing about it.
Yes, it was from a memo released by the Ministry of Aviation, having gotten approval from President Bola Tinubu to rename these airports after illustrious citizens of Nigeria, people who have distinguished themselves in service. And it's normal for the federal government at any given time to rename critical national institutions or critical national facilities or monuments after illustrious citizens. One, as a way of immortalizing those that have passed, and also keeping the legacy, and also celebrating the achievements of people who have distinguished themselves in service to the country. And this would also give people in different parts of the country a sense of belonging, promoting national inclusion. And this is one of the things that President Bola Tinubu has said that his administration will maintain, and so that everybody has that sense of belonging. Everyone is carried along. Look at the spread of the people who have been, of the people who the airports have been named after from different geopolitical zones. Some of them are having served the country in different capacities at different points in time in the country's history. So, we expect, or what we expect in the coming days is for that to take effect. We expect to see the signposts at all of these airports being changed. We expect to see new signposts and a whole lot of sign for billboards and all of that, is signifying the names of these new airports as directed by the president.
Indeed. So they say every customs officer can now aspire to the pinnacle of their profession, precisely what the Vice President mentioned earlier today. It seems like a new lease of life within that ministry, particularly considering that the former Controller General was a retired colonel. Femi.
Yes, there are a lot of people who are not quite comfortable with bringing somebody from outside the customs service to head that revenue-generating institution of government. We
probably will get back to Femi in the course of this conversation, particularly following up on the trended topic of where Mr. President is at the moment. We'll take a break now and we'll be back with more stories. Don't go away.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu do solemnly swear
In 28 days, President Tinubu has implemented a few things that have got the nation talking, particularly when you consider the removal of full subsidy, the signing of electricity and student loan bills, suspension of the CBN governor, as well as the EFCC boss, to his appointments of special advisors, and also a change of pattern that we saw with the service chiefs. Reactions continue to trail these initial decisions by the president and how they would turn the tide for the country's economy and also the plight of the Nigerian people. Plus, how soon are we expected to hear from the president as regards his appointment of ministers, and what should he be doing differently in this regard? I'm joined now by former presidential candidate of ADC, Dumebi Kachuku, for more on this development. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so the removal of fuel subsidy and the president's attempt to unify exchange rates are some of the tough decisions he's made in his first few days in office. I'm wondering what your thoughts are as regard this.
Well, I've spoken extensively on subsidy removal. I believe that it's a step in the right direction, with the caveat that it should be more like a subsidy suspension. We need to suspend subsidy till we are able to structure the subsidy properly. A few individuals in our country have taken advantage of the loopholes within that system to abuse the system and harm Nigerians. What the president has done is essentially try to mitigate the bleeding by removing subsidy. But I don't believe Nigeria as a country can afford to totally remove subsidy. So I believe that subsidy should be removed temporarily whilst the president puts in place a better structure that allows us plug all loopholes so that Nigerians can benefit from a God-given resource. On the reforms within the CBN, again, it's a step within the right, a step in the right direction. In the interim, it might seem like Nigerians might suffer. It might seem like the naira might fall, but eventually we will get to a landing that typifies the market, that speaks to the real market as against the artificial market that we've all been dealing with. And when that happens, you will find that there's an influx of new FDI coming into Nigeria. You also find that there are people, there are Nigerians who see this place as an investment haven. They know that their dollars will work better for them in Nigeria, so they want to bring their dollars into Nigeria. But one thing I need to say is that whilst we're doing this, the government must work assiduously to ensure that we're doing everything to strengthen the naira. We must do this with the utmost urgency so that we are not in a situation where we are losing. Dollar is strengthening against the naira. No, we must strengthen the naira by exporting more, by domesticating the production of the things we import, by using less imports and using more domesticated, domestically produced products. So I believe the president is working in the right direction. On his appointment so far, I believe by and large he's done well. Obviously, the country is excited by the appointment of the NSA in the person of Nuhu Ribadu, knowing that antecedents, people believe that the fight against insecurity, the fight against corruption, the fight against insurgencies, and the fight against domestic terrorism and banditry will be fought with the vigor that it requires. So many Nigerians are excited about that appointment.
Indeed. And Nigerians are also counting on what they will do differently this time. But the president has also mandated the National Economic Council to come up with government intervention aftermath the removal of fuel subsidy. What are your expectations in this regard, and exactly what do you make of the time frame?
Again, it's one of those things I didn't quite agree with. I felt like it was putting the cart before the horse in removing subsidy and then start discussing the palliatives. The palliatives should have been discussed before the removal of subsidy, but they have done that. We expect that this committee, the Economic Council, that they will do this in the shortest time possible, because the truth is that Nigerians are suffering. We see what's happening in the energy sector now, where the discos are trying to increase their tariffs. Nigerians can ill afford any such increase at this point. So the NEC must do everything within their power to ensure that broad-based palliatives are inputted into the economy as soon as possible. Nigeria can't afford any more delays in that happening. And whatever savings they are getting, as again sending this money to states who mismanage these resources, the federal government should come up with broad-based palliative schemes, social infrastructure that affects all Nigerians, so that Nigerians can feel the effects. And again, I say that what the president must focus on is ensuring that he reintroduces subsidy in the next 3 to 6 months after restructuring the scheme. I don't believe that Nigeria as a nation can afford to do without subsidy. I don't believe it's possible.
We'll see how it plays out, because as we speak right now, it's not even captured, in the 2023 Appropriation Act. But his decision from the removal of fuel subsidy to, his monetary policy seemed to have enjoyed a sense of goodwill from cross-section of Nigerians. But I hear you say that he needs to do something quickly. Just how long more do you think he has to enjoy what seems an understanding from Nigerians?
Well, our president is in what we call the honeymoon phase. So people will give him that leeway, that latitude, say, give him some time. But I tell you what will happen. At the end of this month, people will get their paychecks. And people will realize that by and large, their paychecks will do nothing for them. A week, 2 weeks after this paycheck, they'll realize that all their money is gone into transportation, into food. They realize that they have no money left at all. Then the effect of the subsidy removal will dawn on most Nigerians. And then that is when the grumbling will be at an all-time high. And that is when you might see that anything might lead to a conflagration in our society. So the government really doesn't have a lot of time on their hands. They must act very, very fast to ensure that something is done to mitigate the suffering of Nigerians, especially those at the bottom rung of the ladder.
So unlike the former president who took 6 months to appoint his ministers, there's a law now that limits President Tinubu's decision to 2 months. And you recently did mention that he must urgently set up a government with competent people and avoid the temptation of flooding the new administration with political associates. So a politician yourself, and you understand that the president has the responsibility, according to the Constitution, of appointing a minister per state. But in addition to that, he also has a political responsibility. How easy is this decision for him, given the political considerations he must make?
Well, it's very simple. For me, if I know I need to build a house, right? I know what I want from that house. I'll look for the best hands to build that house for me. If the constitution restricts me to getting 1 mason per state, I'll look for the best mason from that state. Of course, I must consider political considerations that those people are people who are within my party or affiliated to my party. But I will put Nigeria first before my party's interest. Because Nigeria is hemorrhaging at all points. Nigeria is suffering. We are breaking at the seams. So this is not a time for him to appoint political bodies. This is a time for him to appoint minstrels, magicians, people with the magic wand, people who can do something different, people who can think outside the box, people who can make something out of nothing. So it's not a time to put in place people who have been associates of long time or people who, because they are within his party. No, I'm sure within the APC will have competent people. So he should find the very best of people within the party in all spheres, in all sectors.
Exactly the point I was going to make, because advocates of the principle of federal character would say that you can find competence within a region, within a religion, and of course, perhaps within a political association. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely, which is why I said he must choose the very best. Whatever tag we give to that, whatever nomenclature we give to it, but they must be the very best. People who are talented, people who are capable, people who have the worldview to lead Nigeria into the next dispensation. He must find those kind of people. But the greatest challenge this president has is redefining our collective charter as Nigerians under the green, white, green of our flag. If you see what happened during and after the elections, you realize that we are not a united people. We are a people under a geopolitical region, but we are not really a people. We are not citizens of a country per se. Our president needs to be the father of modern Nigeria by redefining this charter that we all subscribe to, that brings into being, into birth, a new constitution that speaks to every single Nigerian. This is what this president can do to set a gold standard.
Are you referring to the constitutional review that the Ninth Assembly kick-started?
Say that again?
I said, are you referring to the constitutional review that the Ninth Assembly kick-started?
No, I am referring to the Sovereign National Conference we had in times past, to a new constitution, not review of certain sections of the constitution, right?
But that did not work in the past. The National Confab of 2014, some would say, was an effort in futility.
That's the point. So it should not be an effort in futility. It was a coming together of Nigerians from all walks of life. So we can't say it's an effort in futility. This president owes it to himself and to all Nigerians to stitch that document together so that it works for every one of us. We can't keep on wobbling and fumbling in the dark. We know what our issues are. You have a situation now where there are people who believe that because this is an APC government, that for the next 4 years, they have no vested interest in Nigeria.
You know, the interesting thing about this is that you can't work on the Constitution outside the Constitution. So you still have to go through the National Assembly, and then and that process already kick-started. I'm wondering, what's the window of opportunity outside the 10th Assembly to achieve this?
So the National Assembly can adopt the confab report, right? Because it's a parliament within a parliament. So it's up to them, the National Assembly, and it takes a political will. It takes a president pushing for this to happen in a very, very short time. It's all about understanding what Nigeria needs at this point. We know what our problems are. And if we keep on papering over our problems, we are going to come to a situation where Nigeria comes to a head, and we have no other choices before us at that point. So the president must do this immediately. It's not something he must start delaying. You're already seeing what's happening when you are seeing certain sections of the country talking about Nnamdi Kanu and what have you. You see people still agitating. You are seeing the issues in Southern Kaduna. You might not have noticed, but you see, since the elections, are you seeing the number of people who have been killed in the Northeast and the Northwest? You are seeing the happenings we're having in North Central, former header clashes on the increase.
Indeed.
Do you understand? So we have all these issues, and the president has a lot on his table. But a lot of these things will be solved with a constitution that reflects the hopes and aspirations of all Nigerians.
All right, we have to go now, but you mentioned Nnamdi Kanu, and the president seems to be under enormous pressure, you know, to have him released outside the conditions of the court. We've heard the Anambra State governor saying he's ready to stand as surety for his release. How would you advise the president moving forward?
Well, I'll say to the president, he should let the legal process take its course. Whatever the judges adjudicate, if they say release him, release him. Whatever they say, comply with the order of the court as against what the previous government did. Okay? Because we don't want a situation where those who are aggrieved also, there are those who believe that they are victims of Nnamdi Kanu or his associates, right? So it's important that the legal process takes its course. We must not be seen to have a political solution outside the legal process, so that it's in the best interest of Nnamdi Kanu and everyone for the judges to properly dispense of this matter. That's what's in the best interest of everyone. So if the judges say release him, like they said before, release him. If you want to appeal, you can appeal, right? But once they rule, obey their ruling. That's what I think is in the best interest of everyone.
We'll see how it goes from here and what his decisions will be in the coming days. From our presidential candidate of the ADC, Dumebi Kachiku, thank you so much for talking to us on the program this evening.
Thanks for having me.
Well, that's our show. First 100 days continue tomorrow at 5 p.m., but you can watch a repeat of this broadcast at midnight and at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. See you again at the top of the hour.
Presentation by ShopX TV. Are you worried about the safety and security of your home at night? Do you wish to know when intruders come close to your home? Or do you want to protect what matters to your family from anywhere at any time? What if there was a convenient, affordable way to keep surveillance on your home without having to worry about wires, installations, or heavy light bills? Introducing the incredible Sidebulb HD Cam, the robotic 360-degree two-way torque camera with action tracking technology. Sidebulb is the ultimate solution for discreet and powerful surveillance. It's so easy to install, and the app lets you rotate and view the video from your Sidebulb in real time from any smartphone. You can drop in from anywhere and check in with our two-way talk technology. Talk and listen at the same time.
Hello, Mommy. Hey, sweetie. I'll be home soon, okay?
Sidebulb's advanced tracking technology locks onto motion and tracks in real time. Set the siren alarm to go off when motion is detected and keep intruders away. Check in on your home while you're away. Make sure the kids got home safely. Interact with visitors at your doorway or surprise a trespasser.
Surveillance in a light bulb. I was amazed at the 360-degree rotation. It gives me a full view of my house and I can check in on my kids. The footage is clear and the night vision is so impressive. The best part, I can add multiple sidebulbs for a complete home surveillance.
I really like my Sidebulb. It's so easy to use. I just downloaded the app, I put it on my phone, and I add it up and run in about 3 minutes.
Traditional surveillance systems are bulky, expensive, and difficult to install. But with Sidebulb HD Cam's innovative design, installation is as fast as changing a light bulb, and it's made for indoor and outdoor surveillance.
The Sidebulb HD Cam is now available in Nigeria, exclusively from ShopX TV. You could be paying up to 200,000 naira for an indoor and outdoor security system that doesn't fully secure your home. But call the number on your screen now and get the Sidebulb HD Cam for just 45,000 naira and get peace of mind. And that's not all. If you call now, we'll give you an extra Sidebulb at no extra cost. That means you buy one and get one free for 45,000 naira. But wait, there's more. If you order now, you get the Sidebulb HD Cam delivered to you for free wherever you are in Nigeria. So, call the number on your screen now or visit our website to place your order while stock lasts. The proceeding was a paid presentation brought to you by ShopX TV.
Never miss a moment. Instant breaking news from all over the globe. Live streaming of your favorite programs delivered directly to you. Watch anytime from anywhere on your mobile or smart devices. Download the TVC News app today. Available on Google Play and Apple Store.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Honey, what time did this happen? We will be right there.
At TVC News, we follow the big and major news, gathering the facts, witnessing the outcome.
I am here live at the aftermath of the approval of the new national minimum wage.
We are TV Station of the Year, not just for breaking news, but for being first, fair and accurate. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Wherever you see destruction, it's because God is absent. There is no destruction in God. So who started killing from Genesis? Satan. Jesus exposed him. The thief cometh not, but for to steal, to kill, and to destroy. But I am come that you may have life and have it how much? More abundant. I prophesy as your amen is coming like thunder. Whatever is yours, receive it now.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Hello, welcome to NAFDAC and Your Health, where NAFDAC, the agency that regulates food, drugs, cosmetics, and medical equipment, intimates us with its activities in a drive to protect the health of the nation. My name is Amanda Ugo.
We begin this episode of the program with the recently held quarterly interaction meeting between NAFDAC and the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, where the Director General of NAFDAC, Mrs. Mojisola Adeyeye, emphasized the significance of the association to NAFDAC and the extent of the association's importance to the actualization of NAFDAC's mandate. There, the DG gives updates on the speculated ban of noodles in Nigeria. The NAFDAC DG will also be talking about food safety and why the regulatory agency takes it so seriously. Then we'll move on to feature this year's commemoration of World Food Safety Day, which NAFDAC was part of.
NAFDAC's mantra, customer-focused, agency-minded, is not just a saying. It is a principle the agency is committed to upholding, and this principle guides all its operations. It is the reason the agency does not toy with its customers. Chief among these customers is the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. NAFDAC understands the importance of this association to its actualization of its regulatory mandate, and so the agency engages in quarterly interactions with the association to enable members of the association express the challenges they face in order to jointly find solutions to these challenges. It is also a way to discuss how the Nigerian manufacturing industry can gain more stability and continue to operate in compliance with the regulatory guidelines. Another of such quarterly interactions held in Lagos on Thursday, the 1st of June 2023. Speaking at the forum, the DG of NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, emphasized the importance of food and drugs and why the agency has to work in cohesion with Manufacturers Association.
5 years since I started with the agency. We have moved from where we used to be. And that is life again. If you look at your life 5 years ago and you're still the same today, something is wrong. And I tell my staff, the management is not doing something right, or you are not doing something right, or both. Because we should not be what we were a year, 2 years, 3 years ago, in whatever facet of life. NAFDAC assumed the quality management system, started 2018 January, started training ourselves on how to think of customers, how to put customers first. It was a change in culture that we started getting trained on. We did that for a whole year and it's agency-wide. How to put customers first. If you put customers first, you will not sit on a file. Whether it's registration, inspection, or whatever, you will not sit on a file. You put customers first. If you love the agency, you will not sit on the file. If you love Nigeria, our country, you will love customers. You will put them first, and you put your agency. You will be agency-minded. So that changed our motto 5 years ago. So when it comes to customers, when I see the representatives, I'm always glad. First, because there will be criticisms, there will be critics, but it's all for good. It is so that we can pick 1 or 2 things that we can do better, that will make life easier for our customers. So, whatever comments that will be made, please do not take it personal at all. Because without you, we cannot be here. Without us, we cannot be where you are.
The Director General of NAFDAC, in emphasizing the agency's sensitivity to food safety, seized the opportunity to address the raging issue of the speculated ban of noodles in Nigeria.
For the Indomie issue, people thought we banned Indomie. We did not ban Indomie. Nigeria banned Indomie years before I came to NAFDAC.